I'll pass on that one.
Okay. Welcome, everybody, to Battle Pirates Crib. We're going to talk about Pillage. We're going to talk about the surprise X1 Everest upgrades. There was nothing in the update notes, but it seemed that products seemed to know what was going on because there were some time-limited offers. For me, it was $24.99 to get all my Everest X1, while it was $35 in gold to get them all to U3. So that was fascinating math.
Yeah, I looked at that.
So let's say
because that free. That's because that free gold all the mods get.
Yeah.
Which,
I guess
I don't know if they do or not, but people will tell you they do. They tell you they don't.
Of course, they totally don't. But yeah, they get gold for every person they put in the quiet room or ban. So let's get what?
Nice.
Yeah. So
that's why they like me so much.
Yeah. All right. Bug fixes this week, and I had a sweet picture for the lack of bug fixes. Game SOSs when building a trap with insufficient titanium. This is related to the Saw Factory, so I have no idea. And
he tried to coin the trap and you don't have titanium, it doesn't let you or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Ren found that issue as far as I know.
Okay. Turret icons in Base Planner are too small. I don't know. I saw some things were way too big, but I've never seen the too small ones in Base Planner. But I don't know. Cloudbreaker Everest upgrade kit ×10 has the wrong text. Yeah, I was calling it the Death Zone Everest.
Seems like a really bad name for an Everest. I don't know.
Well, the Cloudbreaker, you're up at the top. There's when you're climbing.
Yeah, if you're in the Death Zone of Everest, it's kind of gruesome, don't you think?
Yeah, it's where the oxygen, where the bodies pile up because there's a lack of oxygen and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it sort of works. But Cloudbreaker, you're up above the clouds, so it's the same thing. I assume it was just a prototype name. Typo on decimator cannon description. I'm not sure. But the one that's got everybody's panties in the wad is campaigns are no longer allowed to be prepped anymore. This was an intentional change. The campaigns were never meant to allow other to prep them. So this is returning them back to how they were supposed to be. There's some truth and there's some mistruths in this. This, I think, occurred when they created co-op TLCs. And they weren't able to, somehow it spilled over into the ones that were supposed to be solo. So yes, you were supposed to be able to do it, but only on certain time-limited campaigns. But people are, at least last night, were a little up in arms, mostly on Discord, to some degree on the forums. And the problem, this is a continuing problem with Kixeye. They allow bugs to persist in their game for years. And the players assume that's the way the game is played. The biggest one being glitch repairing, where everybody's like, oh, this is such a problem. We can't glitch repair anymore. I don't know a kinder name for it. And then they change it, and then people get up in arms and quit. The Black Tuesday or whatever. But if they fixed it right away,
thought it was intentional to have free repairs? That doesn't make sense.
Well, it was part of the game. It was part of the game for years. That not that it was intentional, but it was part of the game and the way they played the game. But if they'd fixed that in 2 weeks, people would have okay, this is a problem, and it's not how we're going to play the game. So you wouldn't have people getting mad that this component of the way that they play their game has been removed. Does it make sense? Not that they thought it was intentional, but it's part of the game.
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but the TLCs makes way more sense as why people would get upset. And they supposedly changed that because people would go park in their enemies' TLCs and just sit in the corner so you couldn't complete them, which I thought was hilarious. But
was that still going on? Last time I saw somebody complain about that, I haven't
seen anyone complain about that in months.
I haven't seen anybody complain about that in a year, and that's why I found it odd that they repaired it now, and gave that reason. But maybe they were just backlogged with HTML5 issues or whatnot. So I don't know. It just seems a little, why fix this now, especially in the middle of. It has appeared that some people were in the middle of prepping people's TLCs for them, and then all of a sudden, boom. Because of the because of the change in time of the updates, which what happened it depends on your time, but they happen about 9-10 hours earlier than they did 2 weeks ago for whatever reason. So okay, any more on the bug fixes?
If you want a list of real bugs to be fixed or real quality of life changes, I could come up with about a dozen, maybe 100.
We could have an outstanding bugs slide, but bug fixes, I guess we can move on. All right. The March calendar. Right now we are in the Pillage for the Everest and the Photon, which we'll get into much more later. Cyberstrike TLC, Return to Honor TLC. These are very important for players that have not got to X1 for their Photons and Ronins, because you can, when the raid is over, it does not mean I need to stop upgrading these. You stop spending real dock time on them, but you collect these tokens, you get 8 upgrade tokens per TLC, which, doesn't work on your flag, but it works in the rest of your ships. So it's a good thing to do if you're not at X1, and allowing you to continue to build these ships, because they're going to continue to show up, at least for a period of time, in TLCs and in Pillage. So next week is the raid, along with the Hold the Line TLC. And then we have the new stuff for the March FM, most likely Assault Armors, Titan Rising, which is for Megas, Shadow and Flame, that's the PvP Hell. Which ship is that?
Hellswarm.
And Bounty 42, along with High Ground, which I really hope they change.
I don't expect them to put upgrade tokens in that one.
Yeah, but it would.
I would like to see that one replaced with an upgrade token one for the Everest.
Yes, and then we have Creeping Barrage. That's a PvP one?
That's for trenchers. Yep.
Yeah.
Which we haven't seen in a while. We get the Hellswarm one a lot more frequently than we do the others.
Okay. And then I'm guessing that we're going to have a special event on Thursday.
Yeah, it's a pretty good guess, but
they have not made that official. Again, this is not the official Battle Pirates calendar, because it's
probably more accurate.
It's a little bit more straightforward.
Oops, did I say that out loud?
Yeah, I think so. And what is missing out of here?
Oh, I know what's missing. The Tier 10 Reclamation Siegebreaker TLC.
Yes.
We expect it before the raid before the second siege raid, and that second siege raid should be on April 14th. We expect it to happen, and it's generally at the same time as Bounty, but
Bounty or VXP.
Yeah, it may be coming, week 1 of April, whereas the raid's on week 2 of April. But they better. I mean, they've got to give it to us at some point.
Yeah. It'd be nice if we had these calendars stretch out for 2 months,
Yeah, how Gilly used to do it.
Yeah, back in the day. So that's the calendar, and I'm still assuming that's an emission, and it'll show up somewhere 17th, 24th, 31st.
Or maybe like the 7th. You don't know.
But yeah, it would show up in Pillage. I don't know, but it would be a first time that would happen. So that would fall that late in the raid cycle calendar, whatever you want to call it. So, all right, let's move on.
Okay.
All right, Everest X1. Currently, the one on the left is for the Cloudbreaker. The one on the right is for the normal Everest. The survival is not bad for either one of them. We get some anti buffs for the Cloudbreaker. Reload for the anti-missile, anti-mortar.
Reload is not very important, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not important. I'm just and then all weapon slots can now equip both countermeasures and weapons, which would be fine if they added weight onto the ships, because right now your back ships are getting pretty close to weight limited due to the weight of the icefall / avalanche mortars. So you might be, I don't know that this is something that would be used that much. And then for the normal ship, I'm waiting to get to the Reaver ice fields. The survival is the same as far as what's getting added.
A whopping 10% reload. Very exciting.
Yeah. So the only thing out of here that I like is the survival. What I hate is the immunity to Reaver ice port frost fields. This is, with the amount of time, from what we've been able to tell, it's about 8 days plus for the flagship and close to 6 days for the normal ships. So you got 24 plus 8, 32 days. And in the meantime, after you get one of them done, maybe you do the flag first and you got 24 days left, where you have very little time to use in your shipyard. Basically, the only time that I upgrade my Everest is in the first raid in the cycle, like what we're going into now, because your shipyard capacity is towards your raid ships. So that's the only time. So you get about 6 days.
And that's not a whole lot of time.
Correct.
I don't want to read too much into this, but if we just got X1 released, how long until the Tier 10 garrison?
Yeah, I think the Everest was released in July, from what I could tell.
Yeah, that's what I remember looking up.
Yeah, and so the issue with this is if you have, let's say you upgrade your flag, it's now immune to the ice fields. And so you have your ships either, tank out in front, all grouped, whatever. So you got one ship that's going to go speeding ahead and be left by itself.
That seems pretty stupid to me.
Yeah, this one wasn't really thought through that well. I mean, the way, in my mind, it should work is give the flag a immune to Reaver ice field, ports frost field, range 40 or range 88.
How about range unlimited? So we don't have to have a ring on there and don't have to worry about getting too far away.
Well,
we could do a range of 80. I'm not going to get more than 80 away. That's fine.
Yeah, and then therefore,
or give all of them 25% additive. So by the time you see effects for all of them, if you want the benefit on the regular ones.
Yeah. But the problem in the meantime is you're going to do worse. You're going to have growing pains going to X1, and your ships are just going to go here, there, and everywhere. and you're going to take more damage until you get it all done. And they did release, I got a TL. I think I said in the intro, I got a time limited offer for $24.99 in cash to get all my ships up to X1. Yeah, if you wanted to spend that, I'm not sure if it's the best use of your money. That's your decision. But upgrading them one at a time with the time we have available, I do not find this to be a great option as currently presented.
Wasn't the other one that you could get them all to U3 for gold?
Yeah, but it was $35 worth of gold.
Yeah, so you do that one first, and then you buy the other. I think,
What's more expensive, $35 of gold or $20 of cash?
I think I got this down.
Yeah, just buy them both. Yeah, spend twice as much money. That's the way to do it.
Kix, I love you.
Yeah, or yeah. They're gonna start sending you Christmas cards and Valentine's Day cards.
I got the effect I was looking for, but I wonder if you spent the coins, which some of them, let's be honest, some of us have had tickets in the past, and some of that is from that. Will that change the amount of money in that same offer?
It might. It very well could.
Yeah.
Although maybe it just changes it next time the offer's out.
Maybe like $14 on cash.
Yeah. So you spend $35
party
for
like it's
gold,
$19.99
$5 of cash.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, they're giving me the U3 upgrade. They're giving me a U3 upgrade for 400 coins.
Mine was
okay.
300.
And the X1 upgrade's $30 for me.
Okay. Yeah. Because you're only at what U0.
I've got 2 at U0 and 3 at U2.
I have 2 at U3. And I think the rest of them are at the flag, and one of them are U3. The other 3 are at U2. So that's probably, yeah. But I don't see the logic at all behind upgrading them one at a time. It just feels like you're in for a world of hurt with all your ships just jumping and not protecting each other. You might, the countermeasures aren't going to work as well. It just feels, it's just ill thought out as far as the impact it's going to have on players' ships if they aren't going to do it all in one fell swoop.
Yeah. Just for kicks, my back is all U2 and my flag is U3, and they still wanted to do 349.
Okay.
How many tickets have you submitted where you're 400 gold?
Not very many. I've had this for a long time. It's 359 gold to go to U3. So it would take 359 gold for me to go 4 back ships to U3 that are already at U2.
With the S and ending with the cam.
Yeah.
Spy cam?
Something like that.
Okay. All right.
$24.99 for the X1.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move forward. Let's move forward. Unless we have any more opinions on this, it just feels ill thought out as far as how players would normally progress in this instance.
Yes.
They don't have anyone who heard about this change being like, "Hey, wait, does that make sense?"
Well, I mean, they didn't even announce it in the update notes.
No, the only information on forums right now is a post I made.
Yeah.
There's no post about the stats from Kickstarter on forums.
It's kind of strange.
Yeah, maybe they're embarrassed by it. I have no idea.
Okay, sorry to belabor the point. So.
Okay, well, let's move forward. All right. Just a reminder. Whoops, you made one more click.
I did?
Yep. Well, I think so. Back one.
I must have. Sorry.
Okay. Just a reminder, in the raid, we're going to get the Badger, which is tier 10 Defender Hull. Don't know what the limits are and whatnot. And the Grinding Gatling Gun, which I don't know how that.
It might be actually the Grinder Gatling Gun if you're a fan of dating apps.
That would be another thing. I just don't think of the badger unless you know more about the badger than I do. And when we were, never mind. There is another, there is another mammal about the same size that starts with a B that might be more related to this. But and the Zip Drive Y, I am curious as far as my executioner build, if this is going to be Conqueror and Defender or Defender only, and how that would impact anything. And then the Saw Trap is going to get an anti-evade mine. But as far as the rest of it, we're going to figure out if the Badger is click.
Sorry.
It's all good. This Badger, or
that looks more. I don't know what that is.
It's a Badger.
No, I see. Okay, I see the white. I see the coloring.
Okay, it's a Badger,
Right.
or this Badger. One more click.
I was going for the second one.
The one that sees something wrong and jumps off a cliff.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom. So we'll figure out which is which.
Isn't there a football team? Oh, never mind.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, never mind. It's about 82 level bases. So, okay, let's move on. Just a reminder that the Badger's coming out. And right now we're in Pillage. So let's move forward. All right, we have a new target. The Assault 145 with the Photon ECM. This is a new target. And the Garrison 138, which we've already we've seen many times before, and I hope it doesn't change next month. And then we have the Zealot, and which is having an issue. They are despawning the 82 bases. They have issues. I don't know if they were in the player's favor or in Kixeye's favor, but they're getting despawned for some period of time. All right. If we don't have any thoughts on the targets per se, let's move forward, and maybe we'll. It's the 138 is the one. I'm sorry. The one. Actually, could you go back one step?
Yes.
The 145 target, which hopefully maybe you can get Derpy to take a look at, is a. Okay, you ready?
No, not yet. That was something else.
Okay. It's a very easy target. It's quick. I did it. I assume by tomorrow I'll get that because I've just sort of ran through them and still got less than 6 minutes of damage. So it's
I got under 3 in my most recent one.
Okay. Yeah. I've just been running through it because I was just sort of boom, boom, boom. So yeah, it's, potentially instant repair, either in the dock or instant repair in the water, and not a long target. Even though the photons they feel slow, don't they?
Even crappy driving, I got 9 minutes. So
yeah. But you're at X1, and then I saw people even at U2 across the board. They were still getting 10 minutes. So it's an easy target to get some points. So, Derpy, are you ready? I see you're.
Yep, I'm all good.
Okay. You want me to put you up there for the 130,
Yep.
145? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So I've got most of the X1. It's my standard build. 2 anti-missiles on the fleet. One of these guys is still at U3 because I am lazy. And let's see how it goes. I'm going to start out
Hey, KB. Yeah. I've just only getting ready for the show, and it only starts a half hour beforehand. I was just sort of, and this was half the time than when we saw it in the raid. So getting it done for instant was all they really need to care about, in my mind. All right, so you're making that ghost crawler chase you for. Is that part of your normal strategy?
It doesn't really matter to me when I kill it. I just wanted to get these buildings down first before I engage the turrets that actually do damage.
Okay. And the way you do it is a little less frustrating than the way I do it, because I engage them at the beginning and start going back up, and that guy wants to run off the map every time, which is annoying, and then I just have to go up and just hope that I kill him. So
yeah, I find these subs quite annoying. They're barely above the water visually when they are above water. They have the cycle where they're shrouded, they go back under. They do all this weird crap that doesn't make sense. And yeah.
But as a reminder to everybody, the generators increase the damage of the turrets. So if you want to engage turrets, probably kill them. If you're having problems, kill them sooner than later.
Do I have evade on one of my ships? No, I've hyper 30 on 4 of them.
Okay, I don't think I have hyper 30 on any of mine.
Then you have Guidance Scrambler 3, Agility 4 on them.
Guidance Scrambler 3.
I wanted a little bit more speed for this raid cycle, and I think it actually worked out well because I can dodge more of that corrosive stuff slightly more easily.
Yeah, the trade-off, as I recall, is that you get less evade, which is pretty much only important associated with the sub that you just killed and the missile turret, as far as lowering the damage on those ones. And as I recall in the raid, I liked it because going with Guidance Scrambler 3 is because I had less damage on my each individual ship, and so I was more likely to be able to repair inside a base. So $425. I don't know. Yeah.
My driving has not been great on this one, I will say.
Yeah,
it might be a bit lower than that. I'll go four flat.
Oh, you're going lower. I'm going 425. Okay.
And maybe 330.
Okay.
Very good.
I was close. Yeah.
Well, you went over though, so do I win?
I don't know. I was off by 3 seconds, so that's not really that bad. Yeah. All right. So it's not a difficult target. Even if you're running a slower fleet with Guidance Scrambler 3, it's a fairly easy target. It's done pretty quickly. And as you see, if you once we get to the prizes, if you had does everybody plan to auto the 138, or are you going to?
I drove one actually for just about instant base repair.
Huh. Okay. Do you want to do that?
I'll see if I can replicate the results.
Okay.
That's the hardest part is finding the damn target.
Because I've just been autoing them.
See, I was
autoing them last raid. You told me to drive,
on the show. On the show, Yeah, just so people could see what the difference was between the two. I
do have 2 ships fully loaded out with the new mortars. That that might help because they kill things, slightly more quickly.
Yeah.
This first bit, super easy to kill. Just don't get hit by these guys.
Yeah, keep the mountains in the way.
And I guess if I zoom in here, you can see these bluish mortars are going to land slightly before the other ones. I don't know if it helps out too much, but quite a little.
Yeah, I've never put those skins on because I hate them in the dock because they cover up everything. But they look like hovercrafts. They don't look like they're on the water, do they? Because you see the shadow below them. Is that the shadow on the bottom of the ocean?
Yeah, that's they do look like hovercrafts.
Yeah. Yeah,
I've been trying a little bit of tanking stuff with the flag, but these arc missiles tend to target whoever anyway.
Yeah, whoever has the highest health?
I think so.
Yeah.
As a pure number, not as a percent, so.
Yeah. Yeah, because the flag actually has the lowest health.
Yeah, which is kind of weird. But it's got higher survival, so.
Yeah.
If I wanted to really do it, I want to split the ships up a tad.
Ooh.
So that way I don't know about that.
Yeah, I usually go in from the other side.
I like this one. I like this approach.
Okay.
The tricky part for me here is making sure to kill all these guys because you don't want to come back for them.
That guy in the back sometimes. So.
Oh. Yep.
What?
Don't you just hit S here?
Yeah, I could just press S.
Okay. Yeah.
Because this mountain blocks that turret, and everything is mortars, which I shoot down all of anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think this will be quite 25 minutes repair. Maybe a little bit over. But I'll probably auto most everything else now because I don't have a lot of time to drive all these things.
26:33. 21. Okay, but still, is it still going to be instant repair because of the tanking?
Sometimes
the two at U0 might be the problematic ones.
Or something.
What?
The two at U0 might be the problematic ones. I haven't decided.
Okay.
No one tell Kickside I'm getting 21 minutes repairing this target, or they'll give us a new one next month.
Okay. And what are you doing on auto with the same ships?
I don't know. Probably about 90, to be honest.
Ooh, 90.
I'll go ahead and do one.
90 minutes?
I'll go ahead and do one, and I'll tell you the results. But
okay. No, because I just, right before the show started, I autoed one and just came back. It was 40 minutes. 38 seconds. So 90 minutes seems a little,
So this is no revelation, but I usually do these targets at the end of the night and just auto them until they're dead and stack up the other ones. Of course,
I try to, but I forget about it. I'll leave my fleet 3/4 dead on the map for 12 hours.
Yeah, wake up in the okay.
Oh, I was supposed to do something. Well,
the only problem is that's
I'll
how
tell you
you
the results about
PFM
that
too.
one.
So it's like, oh crap.
Did you mean to go off share?
Yeah, I'll just tell you the result. I don't think it makes sense to
Okay.
spend our time on that.
Okay. Well, let's move on unless anybody has any questions. Let's go to the next one.
Screen. Wait a minute. I was on the other screen. Okay.
All right. They didn't give us a full. All they mentioned in the store was the industrial reclaimer and what I'm going to start calling the personal reclaimer, as opposed to just the normal reclaimer. And I don't have a picture of what a reclaimer actually is. Yeah, that's true, Daniel. Yeah, there's nothing too fancy about it. But it's as far as what to get, it's $60K, which is 3 sets for the flag, which I would get right away as soon as you can and start that building. And then we have 10 of the refined uranium launchers, which are the limited launcher, and you don't need the nuclear power core if you're caught up. You only need 5 of those, so don't get any more of those. Critical compression system, but for anybody that's actually claim the industrial reclaimer and have it built, does it require all 3 tokens? I think they made these so you have to. It's usually like 125 or 115 or something of that nature. So you probably need to claim all 3 of these. But I'm not certain at this point. So
I don't know either. The CM also did tell us, when the Pillage briefing was released, that there would be no flag VXP tokens. I said, everyone said, that's wrong. There will be some. Guess what? There are some.
Yeah. It's don't even know how to describe that. Some of the feedback we get, it's interesting at best. There is a huge amount of confidence that might be misplaced, but whatever. It is what it is, and I've come to peace with it. So these are the main things that you want to get: the industrial reclaimer, the refined uranium launcher, and enough VXP tokens to rank your industrial reclaimer, because it's pretty good. One more click.
About 310 looks like you need.
Yeah. On the left, we have the industrial reclaimer. On the right, we have the personal reclaimer. As far as the differences between the two, they show it's 60,000 points, and I forgot to give the build time. It's 7-8 days blank. The differences are additional 100 radioactive damage, and additional plus 20 anti-missile range and accuracy, which makes this your new choice as far as putting your missile defense system 3s on there. I'd probably put 2 on this ship and none on the other ships.
That's my plan.
Yeah.
I'm even refitting one off a ship I put on there.
I got 1 on each of my 4.
Yeah, I have 2 on one of my ships, and if time makes it work, I'll get rid of it. But the real differences come down all the way at the special abilities down at the bottom. The personal reclaimer transfers health to the allied turrets in the target, and we never got a good idea of what those actually do, because I cannot imagine what we saw in the VXP targets is what we should expect in the raid targets. It felt like it was incomplete, and they just showed it to us. And it would be nice to either release some VXP targets this week so people know what to build to, or
make your strategy guide. But Kickstarter said we're not going to do it because it's too much work. I'm like, I did the thing for you a month ago. It would take 5, maybe 10 minutes to check and update that. But
yeah, is it the amount of time, or the amount of time when they do things wrong?
I have no idea, but it would, I put mine for out a month ago, but I have no idea if anything has changed. And I can only assume that the health on the turrets was messed up there completely. And let's see, the other problem, and I asked the person who makes the targets, hey, is that health going to be accurate? You did as well earlier than that, no response.
Mm-hmm.
He said, yeah. So we had no clue. We're being asked to make a tool to do a job without knowing what the job is.
Yeah, always bring a hammer.
Big friendly hammer, BFG.
Yeah. So, and it ends up being quite important based on the flagship's ability. And there's 2 different auras. The first one on the left, the Solidarity aura, is based on you being within the trigger range, as my assumption, of 110 of a live allied turret. And that will turn on.
But does it need to be shrouded or unshrouded?
Well,
no clue.
Yeah,
by the way, my Everest got 47 minutes damage on auto.
Okay, so 47 versus instant
21.
repair. Yeah, but instant repair in the So my understanding is if you get within 110 range of a shrouded or unshrouded friendly turret, we don't know that part, but it'll give your ships the flag will project an aura of 88 range that'll increase your combat speed by 25 and give you 23,000 ballistic and radioactive survival, which is pretty important to know some of these details as far as do they need to be shrouded or unshrouded, or is this the turret repair matrix on the personal reclaimer, is that actually going to keep those alive to maintain this aura? Or is this aura, we assume this aura is going to go away when these turrets die. But what we saw in the VXP targets, you had no idea, because the allied turrets neither did damage or received damage, and they gave you the plus sign to show that you were healing them, but there was no increase in health. So it was a broken mechanic in the game at that point in time.
Yeah, the health was increasing, but it was so small you could hardly see it, and they wouldn't even die anyway.
Yeah, I maybe they were missing a 0 on how much health.
They had too many zeros on there.
Yeah. So, and then we have a consistent aura that's smaller. It's a range of 40, which also adds 23k of radioactive and ballistic survival, and a pretty small radioactive damage boost of 15, considering the flag comes with 600. So 15, unless it adds in some odd way, it's not going to add 15. What's your guess? 615?
It will be 15% higher than without it.
Okay, so we're not going to 615. We're going to like 660, 680.
690.
Okay.
So it's literally 15% more damage than before.
Okay, because I'm just mentioning that because sometimes it works in a different way.
Yeah, the upgrades work slightly differently, and they change it from 600 to 700 or whatever that number is.
Yeah.
But this damage should just make you do 15% more damage.
Okay. But if you are, let's say you have 3 ships almost done, finish up those 3 ships and get this thing done. Don't like, oh well, I need to get my 4th ship done and use tokens and what. Don't do that. This is much more important than another personal reclaimer in regards to the survival that it adds. Is basically the issue. The damage might be not a huge thing, but I consider the survival to be the huge thing as far as the aura that protects all the other ships. Do you guys have any other thoughts on this one?
No, I made the mistake of building that 4th ship.
Well, I think I can build this guy and get it. I've got almost 2 weeks of FM tokens saved. I'll bet you I can build this, get it up to U2 and rank it before the raid starts. And
it's my problem. I only have 1 token.
I almost want to try to get it up to U3, but I'm not going to have enough time to do that.
Yeah. And there has not been any official word as far as what the targets are going to be aimed at.
I've seen.
Yeah, I've seen that one guy told another guy, "This is what we're planning for." I've seen that, but I've yet to see anything more than one of the GDs told me that, which is all fine and good, but it's not professional in any way. You know, the fact that the release is going out that way, that like somebody, that's bush league. So, let's see.
And Kickstarter's definition of Tune 2 is probably different than mine. My definition of Tune 2 is able to drive the targets for really close to, if you drive well or almost perfect, you should be able to get pretty close to instant map repair, instant base repair. Yeah. And if you auto it, you should take 45 minutes damage, maybe an hour.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way. That's why I look at it. But I still remember GD Rakin's video, which I'm assuming was a hazing incident, where he was explaining how the V2 interceptors were working well in a scourge target, and he had to repair the whole fleet halfway through in order to get through it, because I think their definition of it's tuned to, at least historically at times, appears to be you can make it through the entire target while surviving.
But you only have to do 200 targets to finish get all the prizes you want.
Yeah, and you may take, you may take 8 hours, 10 hours of damage, or whatever, doing that. So their version of it's tuned to is not something I would, necessarily agree with. So, but this is the last slide. Is there anything else we should be discussing or displaying? Okay, if not, I'm going to invite everybody to join the after show, because I don't have much else to talk about. Did I miss something?
Oh, I guess I'll just put on record that my reclaimer build, I'm going to build, one of the back ships as an evade ship. The front one is a CM ship, and the others as the quote standardish, normalish build with no CMs and no evade.
Okay.
I'll just put that on record, and that's all I got.
All right. Well, links there in case anybody wants to join the after show. If you join really quick, you can join the show. But otherwise, thanks for showing up. We'll show up on Friday when. Okay, you can drop the slides, Mike. But we'll see you all then. So take care, everybody.
Good night.
Later, people.
Good afternoon.
Sorry about that.
The 82 base. Okay, they fixed the 82 bases. So
for the 3 people who that matters for.
well, Okay. Later, everybody.